Hey guys, what's up? This is Jesse, aka J Bone, and I'm here just to tell you all a little bit about the Wiggleboom tournament, hosted by the Golf Clashers, and that site is run by Kevin Warren. If you hadn't checked it out, I really encourage you to check it out on the Facebook. Just type in Golf Clashers and it'll bring it up. Lots of good information about our fun game Golf Clash, and there's also tournaments that he hosts. Um, this current one, this one that just finished up, was actually the second of his series of tournaments. And in order to play it, you have to use only basic clubs and the basic ball. And this one was on Tour 2, and it was really fun. I'm going to take you to the site. You have to go here, create a username, and sign up. And as you can see, in this tournament, there were 32 slots available. Um, and you get matched up. I'm not sure how he does the rankings, but you get matched up and you play your round. You figure out a time to play with your guy, and you play your round. It's best of 7. So first to 4 wins moves on to the next round. And this tournament was double elimination. So even if you get beat the first time, you're not completely out. You got a chance to fight your way back through the losers bracket and make your way to the championship. Now, me personally, this was my first time I've ever participated in anything like this, and being the kind of a basic club, basic ball. I thought it would be kind of cool, and it really is pretty neat the way that it does level the playing field. Um, and it really requires you to learn your shots and be able to just foresee the type of bounces that you're going to get before you take the shot. In my opinion, it would help you improve your overall game. Um, and as you can see, the first round matchup, I won 4-3, and that matchup actually came down to the last hole shootout, and I won it by .01 of a yard. It was pretty amazing. Moved on to my second round. I won again on the fourth hole, the 7th hole. I don't believe I won that one in a shootout, but I did advance there. I advanced the 3rd round due to forfeit. Sometimes life gets in the way, and we don't have time to do something like this, but that's okay. Life always comes first. Now this was a winners bracket championship, and I played against. No, this wasn't the winner's bracket championship. This is the winner's bracket semis. Lance Taylor came down to the final hole. I was lucky to pull that one out. And then this was the winner's bracket championship. The winner of this game actually went on to the championship game. And I played Troy Bovin, and it was a really good match. I was down 3-1. I was able to battle back, and I beat him on the final hole by a very slim margin. On one of the par 3s. So as you can see, we go down here to the bottom. We had lots of people that were fighting their way back through. Eric, who was someone that I beat, as you can see him right there where I'm touching the screen, he fought his way all the way back through the tournament, and actually almost made it all the way back to the championship of the winner's bracket. But Trey Bowden beat Kevin Branson, so the championship set up as this. I was going to have to play against Troy, and he would have actually had to beat me 2 of best of 7 series, since I was sitting in the championship game. I play softball, and we call that, they have to double dip me. He would have had to double dip me. That's what we say in softball when you get to the championship game and you're sitting in the winner's championship. That team that comes back up to the loser's bracket has to beat you twice. So in this case, that means he had to beat me twice in a row in the best of 7 series, which was very tough to do. So what I'm going to do now is I want to go into the game, and I'm going to show you hole by hole and shot by shot our 7-game championship match. There were a lot of really good shots, clutch shots, and close shots between the two of us, and I thought it was pretty neat. So we are going to start Let's see. This is the first hole. And Troy had the first shot, so let's go. Some of these holes are a lot tougher when you're only using basic clubs, and the slightest of misses on the drive can put you in the rough, like you see Troy did on his first hole, which is really unfortunate on this hole because it makes it real tough. All right, and this was my first drive. I didn't want to do what he did, so I kind of aimed a little bit farther to the right, and I was going to make sure I missed right if I was going to miss the perfect shot, which I did, but luckily I was, like you can see, to the right side. All right, so we're going to move on to our second shots. Of course, his second shot was hitting out of the rough, so he didn't hit it too far. We'll show you my second shot. When you're in the rough with these basic clubs, you don't have the ability to really recover very well. You know, you don't have the Nirvana or the Amazon. You've got the basic club that you start the game with, so you can't hit it very far. And God forbid you go into the bunker. Then you really can't hit the ball. Okay, so we're going to show you his third shot, though. Troy's third shot. I can't exactly remember what he did, but I'm pretty sure he was pretty close on this shot. He hit it perfect. He hit it perfect a lot. And he just barely missed it. Ignore the emojis, good game and stuff like that. Those are not, you know, timed with the actual shots being taken. Okay, so I had set myself up near the hole, and we'll see my chip right here. Much harder to chip with basic clubs. You pretty much have to like hit the perfect shot. Perfect shot. Which I did, and I took the 1-0 lead with that shot. You know, whenever you get an eagle on this type of hole with basic clubs, it feels good. So we're gonna move on to hole 2. Okay. We're gonna look at the drives, and then we might skip forward a few of the shots. This hole is, man, this hole is tough. You know, you're used to being able to, you know, put a little spin and curl on the shot, but this shot, I mean, you have to hit it perfectly. All of the rounds that I played in this tournament, it wasn't until this round that I actually hit fairway in a spot where I had a decent shot at even hitting to the green on my second shot, because it was tough. All right, I'll show you my shot on this hole. You know, as you can see, the ball slopes, you know, to the right. Great shot. You know, to begin with. And we both put ourselves in about the same spot. I think he was a little bit farther to the left than I was, but, you know, as you can see, that tree, I mean, is completely blocking the shot that I have. And I'm going to show you his shot so that you can see just how, you know, how difficult it is, even after a decent drive with, you know, basic clubs and a basic ball. You can see he's barely moving it to the right, and the tree kind of gets in the way, and he does readjust. Otherwise, he would have hit that tree. You know, the slightest of movement lets you hit the ball farther. And he was able to find that, you know, that spot where he was able to hit the ball through the branches of the tree, and you know, at least set himself up for a chip onto the green. I doubt he wanted to go into the rough there, but sometimes you don't really have, you know, as much control over your shots when you're using these basic clubs. Alright, I'm going to let y'all see my second shot. It was definitely not in a good position, and I almost pulled off the type of shot that I wanted to pull off. I basically had to slice it, as you can see, and you'll see the slice here in a minute. And just for a moment I thought I might have had it, into the bunker. We both go on to take our third shots, and we both put the ball up near the hole, and we're going to move on to our shootout. This was my first shot in the shootout. Now, I had been having a lot of luck with this whole tournament. Not really getting holes in one, but you know, putting it very close to the hole. And this was my first shot, close to the hole in one. Rolled back a little bit past the hole, and I left myself fairly close. I don't remember the exact distance. It was one point something something. And here was, let's see, Troy's second shot. I mean, Troy's first shot on the par 3. I have to say this about Troy. He knew his par 3s. He was very good.
Perfect shot.
And as you can see, he hit his shot, and he rolled it right into the cup. You know, it was a really good shot. So he won that hole. So that means the match is tied up 1-1 after 2 holes of play. And we're going on to our third hole. And this hole is usually one that you just kind of put some spin and curl, and you just, you know, hop it over the chasm next to the green, easy chip in. Not that way when you got basic clubs.
Great shot.
Much different hole. So we both put our balls in about the same spot of the fairway right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip ahead to our second shots on this hole. My second shot, you know, I had been having a tough time positioning myself in a good place. You know, I kept finding myself in between clubs, but this time I had a decent setup, and I was pretty happy with this shot. I knew it probably wasn't going in the hole, but I put myself really close to the hole. You know, a common thing that happened in this tournament was to see people overhit the shot on this hole and bounce it through the green and onto the rough. But you have to see what Troy does here on his second shot. And I believe that going second when you're playing in this type of situation really can help you if you're observant to what's going on. He lined it up pretty good right here. He hit it great, but I've said it before in other videos, sometimes your great shots are your best shots. It just happens that way. He was able to catch this nice slope, and he rolled it right into the hole. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, what the heck do I got to do to beat this guy? I mean, he hit the hole in one on the last shot. He sinks that shot. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking, man, this guy's going to just kill me this round. You know, I might have to wait until a second best of 7 and get him there. So at that point, Mr. Troy is up 2-1 on me, and we move on to our next hole. We're gonna look at Troy's drive just so you can see the hole that we're on and what we're doing. I think on this, I can't remember if this is the hole that Troy, I don't think he goes in the rough here. I'm pretty sure he makes a decent drive and is on the fairway. Yeah. Okay. We both hit our drives onto the fairway here, so I'm going to skip ahead a few shots, and I'm not going to show you our drives. My drive. Our next two shots are woods. We just hit them up the fairway and stay on the fairway. Neither of us hit it into the rough. So I'm going to show you his fourth shot on this hole. Here's a green approach, and then I'll show you my green approach. Oh, this is the wrong one. This was his putt. Anyways, we both hit our shots onto the green, very close to the hole. We both came close to holing out our chips, and both of us came up. I think he came up short, and I came up a little bit to the right and long. And we'll just go ahead and I'm going to show you the shootouts for this hole. Troy went first. And this was actually one of my favorite holes on the shootout. I don't think I lost any shootouts on this hole. I could be wrong, might have lost one or two. But I know there were several times where the whole set match came down to the shootout on this hole for me, and I was able to get pretty close and win. As you can see, Troy hits a pretty good shot. I think he was about, 1.5 yards away from the hole, something like that. After he took that shot, I was thinking to myself, I'm sitting here fixing to be down 3-1. So I get my shot lined up.
Perfect shot.
And almost get the ace. And I almost got the ace. And I was able to just barely beat him on this hole. It was by maybe 0.05, 0.06 margin. It wasn't much at all. So at this point, we are tied at 2-2. And we move on to our fifth hole. Let's see. We're just going to move on to our second shots on this hole, because it's the approach here. Both of us had our balls packed basically in the same spot. And this was another one of those holes that got real tricky when you had to use basic clubs. Because if you use the driver, you're going to pretty much put yourself underneath those trees and no way have any kind of shot at the green. And there's no way to go up the left-hand side like you normally would go when you're playing this hole, because you just don't have the distance on your driver. So you saw his shot. And now you'll see my second shot. As you can see, I had a similar setup to Troy, and I think I might have had the trees in the way just a tad bit more, but I was able to aim and adjust myself around the trees. Hits hard, and it'll roll into the rough. Somewhat similar to where Troy is at. I think he was a little bit farther to the right of where my ball was. And we both chipped it in off the fringe to save our birdies. And we went to our shootout. Troy went first. So here's Troy in his shootout.
Perfect shot. Nice on.
Okay, that's Troy in his shootout. And this was mine. Okay, I misshowed you. That was not his shootout. This is mine, and then we'll watch Troy's.
Perfect shot.
I was very happy with this shot. I think I ended up being 0.38 yard away from the hole. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I mean, when you hit it that close to the hole, I mean, you pretty much should win, right? Right? You would think so, right? Not when Troy's hitting the ball. This guy was so zeroed in on this hole, it was ridiculous. It was almost like a machine.
Perfect shot.
And it hits, and look at this thing. I mean, it rolls up into the hole like it's got a string attached to it.
Hole in one.
It's a good shot. So, he wins that shootout and takes a 3-2 lead in the best of 7 series, and need 4 wins to win the series. So we moved on to the Santa Venture. I'm going to show you my drive, just so you can see the hole that we're on and where we're positioned. We both ended up about positioned in the same spot, hit the same exact drive. So what you see me do here is basically what Troy did as well. So this was my second shot on this hole, and keep in mind I'm down 3-2 right now in the series. So I was just trying to make something happen here.
Perfect shot.
And what would you know? Boom!
Eagle.
That's what the doctor ordered right there. I had to have it. So Troy has his chance to answer me. And we'll look at his shot as well on this hole.
Perfect shot.
Very close. I don't know, even if it had been on line, that would have fallen. The speed on it was pretty fast, although the speed on mine was pretty fast. Sometimes those fall and sometimes they won't, so I guess we will never know on that. So we moved on to the last hole, and I'm going to show you Troy's drive. My drive was, I hit my drive over the bunker to about similar to where Troy hit his on the first hole when we played this.
Great shot.
Unfortunately for Troy, he hit his ball into the bunker on the drive, which when you're playing with the basic clubs, the sandwich, man, hits the ball like 20 yards. It's ridiculous. Let me show you my second shot on the hole. Troy, on his second shot, like you would do, he just hit out of the bunker to wherever he could hit it, trying to give him a second shot. And this was my second shot. You see, I had the tree was slightly in my way if I wanted to aim it to the right, which I wanted to aim it farther to the right. Because of that, I might have hit the tree on that hop, but I'm unsure because, of course, my view was blocked from seeing the shot. But anyways, hit it into the bunker. So I give Troy this chance now to, to get back in this hole. Basically, when I did that, I
Perfect shot.
gave him the shot to get back in the hole. So I went from thinking to myself, I got this tournament won, to, oh, I just let the guy back in the door. We've got a hole again. So I'm going to show you his third shot on this hole, which he basically had to nail to even have any chance of salvaging the hole. And it really was no surprise to me that Troy made this shot. He executes his shots very well,
Perfect
and
shot.
it was a pleasure to play with him in the 2 rounds that we met during the tournament. Okay, as you can see, he rolls it down the green perfectly,
Nice on.
and he went on to make his putt My shot out of the sand was not online, and we both putted in for the I guess it was the birdie. Yeah, we both got birdie on that hole. So comes down to the last hole, and it's the shootout for the last hole. So the whole tournament is resting on this shootout. You know, I know in my mind, if he beats me here, he still has to go ahead and play me again at another best-of-7 series. So I know the pressure is on him on this shot. And, you know, as the hole's loading up, I'm thinking that it's not going to be the hole that shows up. And when I see this hole, I think, oh my gosh, this guy has hit 2 aces in a row. And then miracle happens. He did not hit a perfect shot. And I thought I know I had a chance. He still manages to get a really nice roll on that shot and put it fairly close to the cup. So, you know, he's going to force me to make a perfect shot and earn the win, which is something I want to do. I don't want to just have a win given to me. I want to earn it, as do all of us. That otherwise we wouldn't be playing, I don't think. So the whole tournament comes down to one shot. And here we go. As you can see, I was all over the place aiming and getting ready for the shot. Hit it perfect. Liked where it bounced. I thought I had aced this out to win it, but I didn't. But still, it was good enough to get the victory on the hole and in the championship against Troy. So luckily for me, I was able to pull off the win in my first ever basic club tournament. And I would just like to say thank you to Kevin Warren for putting this on for us, and congratulations to Kevin. He told me he just had a baby, so congratulations to him and his wife. And I look forward to playing in more of his tournaments to come. I really encourage you all to check out his website at Golf Clashers and join and contribute to his community. Also check him out on his Facebook page, YouTube page, because he does a lot of good videos and tournament guides and just information type videos for Golf Clash. So thank you to him for all the time he puts into making this a better game for all of us. All right. Please check me out, J-Bone, on my YouTube channel. And peace out.